Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the life of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. You probably know him as Quaid-e-Azam, the great leader, and of course, the absolute founding father of Pakistan. He is undeniably one of the 20th century's most influential political figures.
But here's the thing that really sets him apart. When you think of early 20th century revolutionary leaders, you usually think of armed resistance, right? Well, Jinnah took a totally different route. He literally forged an entirely new nation relying solely on constitutional methods, democratic processes, and some seriously brilliant political negotiation.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, from Karachi to London, looking at his early life and education.
Born in Karachi back in 1876 to a pretty prosperous merchant family, Jinnah was focused on education right from the start. By the time he was just 16, he traveled all the way to England to study law at Lincoln's Inn. And this time in London was huge for him. It profoundly shaped his lifelong belief in the rule of law and British parliamentarian traditions. By 1896, he returns to India as a fully qualified barrister, ready to make his mark.
Which brings us to part two, Ambassador of Unity. So he sets up his legal practice in Bombay, and his brilliant, highly logical courtroom advocacy quickly brings him real financial independence and a ton of respect. He enters public life with a fairly moderate stance in the Indian National Congress, actually earning the title Ambassador of Hindu-Muslim Unity, and he proved he deserved that title by negotiating the famous 1916 Lucknow Pact, working tirelessly to get Hindus and Muslims cooperating for self-government.
Now, you might be asking yourself, what exactly sparked the Pakistan movement? I mean, if he started as this great ambassador of unity, what changed? Well, as political tensions really started to boil over throughout the 1920s, Jinnah grew deeply concerned. He was specifically worried about the future and the fair representation of Muslims within a predominantly Hindu-majority India.
And that brings us to a major turning point in 1929, when Jinnah stepped up and presented his famous 14 points.
These 14 points basically became the absolute bedrock of Muslim political demands in British India. We're talking essential constitutional safeguards here. Things like provincial autonomy, separate electorates, fair political representation, and the outright protection of Muslim culture. To actually push these demands forward, Jinnah completely transformed the Muslim League. Throughout the 1930s, he took it from a relatively weak organization and turned it into a highly disciplined, mass-supported national movement.
Moving into part three, the demand for Pakistan. This is the historic pivot where Jinnah officially concludes that Muslims and Hindus aren't just different communities, but distinct nations with completely different historical traditions and political aspirations.
From there, the progression was incredibly fast. In 1940, you have the historic Lahore Resolution formally calling for independent Muslim-majority states. Through just relentless campaigning, Jinnah leads the Muslim League to a decisive election victory in 1946. And all of this culminates in his ultimate triumph, successfully negotiating the partition of British India in 1947.
Which leads us to our final section, part four, Final Days and Legacy.
So, August 14, 1947, Pakistan officially emerges as an independent state, and Jinnah steps up as its very first Governor General. In his famous August 11 speech, he made his progressive vision absolutely clear, emphasizing equal rights and religious freedom for everyone. And get this, he worked tirelessly to build the country's administrative institutions completely from scratch, ensuring everything was grounded in justice, democratic governance, and minority rights, all while he was secretly battling a severe, life-threatening illness.
Tragically, on September 11, 1948, which was just over a year after achieving this monumental independence, Jinnah passed away from tuberculosis. But he left behind an incredible legacy. He is remembered as a leader of absolute integrity, intense discipline, and unshakable determination.
His enduring national motto still rings true today: unity, faith, discipline. Through those exact principles, he quite literally transformed the destiny of millions. And it leaves us with a really fascinating thought to end on today. How might Jinnah's unique legacy, proving that monumental world-altering change can be achieved through constitutional law rather than armed conflict, continue to shape and inspire our modern world? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I'll catch you in the next one.